Old school players. I like this.
It's headphones in and all sorts. So there is definitely one Man United. Is there a second? Let's find out here. And we'll also need to make sure that if there is a secondary Man United, which it wouldn't surprise me if there was. Yeah, but we have seen it again. But it's no surprise. That's the thing.
That's true.
But interestingly enough, with it being uniform settings as well, or uniform stats, this now puts the onus on the players with the controllers. If you think about it, it's not necessarily the matchups on the field that are going to make the difference now. It's going to be the people who are controlling those players. So
exactly.
As much as it is confusing for us,
notification for guest one.
as much as it is confusing for us, it's actually going to be better because you're going to see almost a true representation of these players' play styles.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
As you see there, Luke Shaw, Dalot, Harry Maguire with the first rare start here that we've seen today. You see Anthony as well. Interestingly, Anthony brought on. So, again, does that lend itself to the fact that the player is a skiller? Does he look to use skill moves? Because, again, Anthony's quick feet, they are lightning quick, especially within eFootball.
I want to see Garnacho on the pitch.
You can put a special request in with them afterwards. You can put a special request in afterwards. But as you've seen, it's like that small variation that you can see from the front threes. It's always going to be Ronaldo and Rashford, but who makes that third? Is it going to be Martial? Is it going to be Sancho? Is it going to be Anthony? As you can see there as well, interestingly, a little bit more narrow on the right-hand side of the field rather than a slightly more wider kind of stance almost on the left-hand side. But we'll see who owns what stance as we get into the game here.
We are hearing the chants. We're starting the game. Slovakia with the red shirts, Moldova with the white shirts. And this is the starting game of this bracket.
As you see, Bruno Fernandes getting hold of the ball very quickly indeed. Ronaldo pressured into a tackle. It's Christian Eriksen that will lead that away. Here's Jadon Sancho. He's got Bruno making a run for him advance, but he doesn't quite use him. He's got Ronaldo with his hand up in the middle. It's still Jadon Sancho. A lot of room to run, and Martinez will take that clearing away. Here's Sancho onto Fernandes.
The first option was for Slovakia. A classic play. Goes from the side. Throws a center ball. It couldn't be connected. What happens here? Again, controllers.
Again, it's, you would think, again, at this level, you would think that players would check this all. You'd think they would check it all before you get started because, again, if I'm sat there as a player, I don't want to go into the game questioning whether my controller settings are correct or not.
Yeah, perhaps the default settings are not the settings that the player likes.
Yeah, but in which case it's fine, but you wouldn't then kind of almost time waste it in the game. You'd want to get this done beforehand, and
that's true.
But again, also if you're thinking about it from a player point of view, he's now giving the ball away to his opponent in a throw-in inside his own half. If you're going to do something like this, again, you know, kind of almost dark arts a little bit here when you think about it. You'd want to clear the ball either out for a goal kick down the other end, or you'd want to put a throw-in as far down the pitch as possible. But instead, he's now put himself under a bit of pressure.
So here we come again. Slovakia in the red shirts, Moldova in the white shirts. This is the first match. We're playing to the best of two. The goals adds, and that result of adding the two matches is the one that we take.
Yeah, you can see Sancho just trying to get around Aaron Wan-Bissaka there, just not quite getting there. It's Slovakia that are on the attack here. Casemiro, Moldova that will take this ball away though.
Few minutes, but we saw more of Slovakia going forward, attacking. Moldova expecting.
You can see Sancho just making that run. Ball into the box. It's a stunning cross, but De Gea comes out and claims it. I think interesting what you're seeing from Moldova. When this ball comes in here, you're seeing it going one touch. It's going very, very quick. Just take your time. Take a breather. And as we see, Ronaldo's broken through. Here's Ronaldo! Well, there we have it. It's our opener. And it's gone the way of Moldova.
And it's what we were talking before. this was a match that was all on Slovakia, all the effort, all the attacking, but it was just one bad move, one error coming back, not the way you have to do it. They lost a ball and they are losing the match.
Yeah, it's one thing to create the pressure, it's another thing to capitalize on it. And from what we've just seen there, it was one little giveaway. It was one little giveaway. It was one read of a pass that was there, and Moldova were in. And it's a great start for them.
In fact, it took us by surprise because we were still commenting the Slovakia play, but it was just a bad movement, and here we are, 1-0 for Moldova. But now comes Slovakia. Goal! And it's 1-1, the equalizer comes. People shout, people hug. Amazing, Wetza.
That was brilliant. I have just experienced a South American commentator's goal. I am in dreamland here, but so are Slovenia. They've got, Slovakia even. They've got themselves back into the game. Again, it was really good pressure down the left, and again, smart finish. And now all of a sudden, pressure is back on.
We have a new game starting. 1-1. It's an equalizer. We are leaving the match with Mr. Wetza here.
There's a poor giveaway there. Lofted through ball. You like to see it, but unfortunately, nothing was going to come about of it there.
I like that pass. Three fingers.
It was a good pass. However, did not find its target, which, as we said, time and a place for it. Yeah. That's what we've got to think of. Sancho, quick feet, trying to just displace this defence. It's Bruno Fernandes into Rashford. Back to Bruno, back to Rashford. Oh, and he's just bumped into the defender at the wrong moment. And the keeper will gobble that up. But again, it's really good play from Moldova just to try and get themselves back in the ascendancy. Here's Martinez. Tries to get the ball through, and we can just see just breaking down into Slovakia.
I think that they measured each other, and both players respect each other, but they also know that there is not impossible to make a goal.
Yeah.
So that's the best matches. When both know that the match is a good level, you have to attack, but you have to defend. Both things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think looking at it, it's respect, but you don't fear, and that's what we love to see, because it's a case of, yeah, okay, you can land a punch on me, but I need to go and land one on you. Here's Ronaldo to Sancho, back to Ronaldo, back to Sancho. It was a good opportunity. Maybe rather than going near post, could have tried to get that across the box, but it's good build-up play from Moldova.
He doesn't use much dribbling. He's just touches, but nobody carries the ball.
Well, as I was taught as a kid, the ball will always move quicker than a player, and that's what we're seeing here. It's just movement of the ball, just get it moving as quickly as you can. Here's Bruno Fernandes, lofted through ball, looking for Ronaldo. He thought about it. He thought about a little bit of a scissor kick there, but it didn't quite come away with it. Here is Christian Eriksen.
I think that's the main difference between the professional players and players at home. When we play at home, we love to carry the ball.
Yep.
And professional players don't carry very much. There are very few of them that like dribbling and moving the ball.
Yeah, you could almost count them on one hand, the types of dribblers that you can think of. But as we see here, talking about dribblers, is Sancho to Bruno to Sancho. Sancho gets the shot away to save. Fred on the rebound. It's just gone wide. We've seen them get put in, and you would have put your life on it. If it was Christian Eriksen running onto that after what we've seen today, that probably would have found the back of the net.
The goalie was not very smart on this play. I think he was the one that caused the most impact on this play. I thought that on the second play it would be ending on the net. It didn't.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to go with your hands rather than your feet, especially if you are a goalkeeper. Here's Casemiro to Bruno Fernandes. On towards Cristiano Ronaldo. Sancho. Fred. You can see ball movement really good here from Moldova. Sancho trying to just, again, create a little bit of space. Here's Fred. Bruno, lot of space in the middle. Back from Ronaldo. It's Bruno Fernandes. And it's wide at half-time, but again, creating the space.
I can smell the last second, trying to aim the exact spot. It was very smart move, very thinking reflection. Words doesn't come from my mouth, but you know what I mean.
It's quick thinking.
Yeah,
it is quick
you
thinking.
know what I mean. He was trying to be so precise.
Yep.
That ball went out for centimeters.
Sometimes you can be too smart, and
Yeah.
sometimes you can try and predict too much. Sometimes it just needs a bit of instinct on what you do. So
Yes.
as we've said, that sometimes it benefits to have, you know, a first-time shot. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
As you can see, a lot of different changes going on your screens in front of you. You can see personnel changes. You can see differences in ways that these guys are moving. You can see they've deployed a slightly more out-wide philosophy. And interestingly, something to pick up if you are an eFootball player at home, again, these players will have different traits. These have different player traits dependent on what positions they're in. Sometimes it'll be triggered and sometimes they won't. Again, it's always something to bear in mind when you have players that are coming off the bench. For example, we've seen time and again players that have the super sub trait are fantastic off the bench, but that's due to their impact that they can have. I think here, it's exactly that same type of thing. You've got to be careful with what players you're bringing on and taking off. But certainly, interestingly, that they've both deployed and started to go wider with their team selection now in the second half.
Let's see what we have for this second half. There's no Garnacho on the pitch yet.
To be fair, though, the more they play wide, the more that is likely. The more that is likely. If you can manifest it, it may just happen. But as you can see from the kickoff there, it's Moldova. It's Moldova just trying to win that ball back, and you can see there. If you look here,
Moldova is in the red, Slovakia is in the white.
You've got Martial who's coming on. You can see there, if you look here as well, just the subtle changes in the way that these players are moving as well. So, for example, having a second striker or a shadow striker role, it sometimes benefits Ronaldo because his main trait won't be triggered because he's not playing at centre forward. But you can see they're going very narrow, then they're going very wide, then they're going very narrow. He must be seeing something on the screens that he must not like. So as a result, he's now making those changes.
Yes, it's always important to see the pitch, the small pitch in the middle of the screen, because that gives you a tactical view.
Yeah, and the radar is a massively important weapon in any eFootballer's arsenal. As you see, Rashford trying to get through to Ronaldo.
Players who know how to play look at the radar a lot. It's really a must.
Yeah, you can see as well. You can see if you look at the bottom of your screen there, you can see there's three players constantly forward for Moldova. But it's Slovakia that appear to be on the break here. It's cleared away once more. There's Eriksson. Ronaldo. It's looking forward. We can't quite get it through the lines of defence.
A very balanced match for now.
It's back again though. It's Anthony. It's just cleared away. It's just a foul given.
We can say that these both players have kind of a similar approach to the game.
Yes,
A
yes.
similar level. It's a really balanced match.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Unlike the match that we saw before.
Yeah, and this is it. We're seeing play styles and we're seeing the kind of controlled nature of some players actually be the undoing of players that are trying to push the kind of the issue and push the game on players. Sometimes you can just be a little bit more considerate, a little bit more conservative. It may just get you a bit of a benefit. Here's Sancho, though. And it's Wan-Bissaka and Fred that will go away and deal with it and just about gets it away from Ronaldo's grasp. Here's Fred. Fred to Casemiro. Casemiro looking forward for Ronaldo. You can see there numerous runners. As you can see there, it's just a case of which one do you want to try and pick out here. Here's Fred looking to maybe wait for Ronaldo to break into some space. Is Martial back to Fred. Forces the foul. It's a really soft foul, might I add. It's a very soft one, but it is a free kick. And it looks like it's in prime real estate for Slovakia.
Once again, we have modifications.
Yeah, we can. We see differences of players coming on. And again, it depends on what these players are seeing. So as great as we can be, or as good as we can be trying to predict and explain why these guys are using certain players, only these guys will know what works for them.
Yeah.
You know, for what works for me and you may not necessarily work for them. So
I love this part because I try to get it, to understand, to learn as much as I can. But it goes so fast that you have to get just one thing and later see if you got it.
Well, this is it. This is it. Such is their how well that these players are drilled on how these players are drilled.
Video is paused.
We have some technical difficulties. We're coming back. Yeah. But yes, as you were telling, they do it so quick. Because they are so used.
They're so well versed in what they need to do and what players they bring on and how that they go about it. They're so dialed in that, again, for players of a slightly different vintage of myself and yourself, we may be looking at it going, can you slow down a minute? Can you just slow down? Just let us figure this out. But as we see, we are back on screen. And interestingly, Scott McTominay coming onto the field on one side, which again is more of a defensive stance. As you can see here, McTominay's come on that right-hand side, but you can see Van der Beek's on the other. And you've got your wish, as there is I've spotted a wild Alejandro Garnacho. So you have your wish. Now we'll have to see whether he can be put to good use.
I told you. There was a lot of expectation about this guy because someone said that he may end playing for Argentina national team because he was born in Spain.
Oh, wow.
But he has an Argentinian nationality.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, well, that's good news for you. That's good news for you.
Let's say. So we have some slight pause in the technical side, and we're coming back just in seconds.
As quick as that, we're back in the game. You can see it is Christian Eriksen standing over this. See whether he can find the back of the net. Oh, it's a manual goalkeeping save. We've not seen much of that today in terms of manual goalkeeping, but it is again a pretty important tool to keep in your your locker, as it were.
Are you one of those guys that post things on social media and put full manual?
No, I'm not. Because sadly, I'm not good enough to play full manual. I leave full manual to the guys who can. And speaking of guys that can, it's Garnacho. It's a corner ball.
He doesn't play full manual.
Well, you found one fan. You found one friend here certainly, because it's Moldova that have brought him on, and it is a corner for Moldova.
Let's see what happened now. We're watching Slovakia versus Moldova. The match is 1-1.
It's Casemiro with the knock away. It's a charge down there. Again, just a soft foul, but it allows the teams to reset. And I say this a lot when I watch games like this, is that sometimes those little fouls of just a slight push, given where those happened, it could have easily have been a counter-attack.
Exactly.
It allows your team to reset and rebuild. Speaking of that, though, it is Marcus Rashford who's in. He's cut back. It's Ronaldo. Still going as Ronaldo, and it's Maguire who will punt that one away.
He covered the ball. He tried to dribble, but he was not so brave. So
you can see Scott McTominay trying to just provide that control in midfield for Slovakia, but it's Garnacho. It's a long ball forward. It's Anthony Martial looking to get onto it. He's up against his French teammate Raphael Varane. It will be Varane that will be the victor there. Here's Casemiro, Rashford, Ronaldo. It's a poor back heel. Instead, it's come to Fernandez. Donny van der Beek on towards Anthony Martial, but again, Varane.
It's a very battled match. The players are tired, so they don't have so much stamina to run fast.
They don't, but Rashford looks to be making his way in. It's a critical foul.
Yeah.
Because again, if he doesn't make that foul, Rashford's past him, and that's a shot on goal.
Yeah,
so,
but if you make it...
But you make it, you're leaving yourself well open for this. But interestingly now, you know that the opponent manual goal keeps. So are you going to go and try and beat gamesmanship, or are you going to try and punk him out? And then we'll have to find out which one is which here. It's Christian Eriksen. Eriksen over the wall! And that is the gamesmanship we were talking about. It's the Great Dane once again, Christian Eriksen. What a wonderful free kick.
Amazing. Amazing. He crossed the ball all the way. We were all expecting it to go to the right. It went to the left. The goalie has nothing to do. And we have a 2 for Slovakia, 1 for Moldova.
Yeah, it's a brilliant finish. And again, we talked about it. Do you move the keeper again after you've already moved him once? And it's that. It's essentially, it's a 50-50 at that point. It's a, well, if I don't move him and he puts it this side,
it's like a penalty.
I look like a hero. Yeah. Whereas actually, if I move my goalkeeper and he puts it the other side, I look like a buffoon. So you have choices to make there, and that was a very vital one there for Slovakia.
Excellent free kick. It's very difficult to make good free kicks because it usually you end throwing it out of the pitch, or you end going to very easy, very soft kick. So it's very difficult. I remember there was a time where Messi in this game was like unbeatable from free kicks.
Oh yeah.
But right now, nobody seems to remember that.
Well, it's how much swerve, and it's how much their curve stat is in reality. That's what makes these shots, or at least free kicks, so potent, is how much bend can you get on it, and that there was perfect.
He bent it like Beckham, as the movie.
as a man once said. But if you look at the time as well, not a lot of time left in the game. 8 minutes in game plus stoppage time.
That's true.
And again, maybe a bit of gamesmanship now creeps in for Slovakia. But again, if you're going to go this route, you have to be careful, because if you mess up, you're going to give an opportunity to Moldova.
If you see every time the players pass the ball, most of the bars are almost empty. This is because they're run out of stamina.
Well, there's running out of stamina, and then there's also, when you think about it, is the ability or the quickness of the animation! And that's what we said. That's literally what we said. Slovakia, brilliant finish from Ronaldo, and as you were saying, those little passes, it just means it takes less time for the player to wind up and take the pass. So again, if they are fatigued, it's really small passes, and as a result, it leads to a fantastic goal. Look at some of this from here. Just again, quick little tippy-tappy passes, in and out. Thank you very much. I'll take my 3-1 victory and I'll go into the next game, please. That's a wonderful finish.
Yeah, the defense are like spectators.
Well, it promotes panic. If you're getting an opponent who is passing that quickly, you're sat there either pressing the LB or the L1 button, depending on what your controller is, or you're flicking the right analog stick, and you're just going, just select the player I want, because you can't stop it.
Or you're smashing the square and let it be.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's literally it. But as you can see, it's not even over yet. It's still, we've got injury time here, and you can see there, though, 4 minutes added on, which, again, if you're a Slovakia fan, you'll be just waiting for the clock to run out. If you're Moldova, you'll be looking to try and get something else out of the game. Oh, and it does. Brilliant finish. Again, though, that changes your mental team talk for you into game 2, which is, oh, instead of me needing 2 goals, I only need 1 now. And
this is the good thing of playing to the best of 2. It's just 1-0.
Yep.
So this is like starting all over again. It's not so hard to be 1 goal ahead.
Absolutely. You can mentally prepare yourself to go, it's only 1-0.
Yeah.
That's the great part of it. You just go in and think, oh, it's only 1-0. And it's a lot easier to think about.
And how much did it change? Because the thing was, I think the match looked like finished on the 3-1. It looked like a finished match. And nobody, at least me, I didn't doubt about this game is going to Slovakia.
Yeah, I think looking at how it played out early on, it was very much they were looking to both try and put their game plan on the other. It wasn't a case of, as we've seen, it wasn't, well, one sits back and one tries to attack. Instead, it was just, well, we're just both going to attack and we're going to see what happens.
We had a balanced match until the 3-1.
Yep.
At that point, it seemed finished, but the 3-2 is like when you touch the reset button on the computer by error, you know, it started all over again.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, is that getting that one goal back, as we've said, it changes your mental team talk. It changes your mentality going into the second game, because you're going, okay, well, I only need one goal, or I only need to be +1 at the end of this game. If Moldova come out second game and they get a very early 1-goal lead, changes the complete narrative of it, and it changes the complete narrative on the Slovakian side, because Slovakia will be looking at that going, I was 3-1 up there with 8 minutes to go, and now I'm 3-2. And then potentially, if game 2 happens and they score, let's just say within the first 10 minutes, all of a sudden you'll go, 18 virtual minutes ago, I was 3-1 up. It's now 4-3, or it's now 3-3. And then, but then you've got to show your mental resiliency to get back to where you were, because again, to look at it, yes, you were 3-1 up. That shows you can score past your opponent. That's what it needs to show. Of course, if you're Moldova, you're showing your powers of recovery already, so we already know players mentally strong. It's now testing Slovakia's mental strength.
And you're watching it here live with us from Bali, Indonesia. We are live at the IESF tournament. This is incredible. This is incredible. You have to be here. You have to be with us. We have a lot of matches coming back. Right now, we're going to see the rematch, the match number 2 between Slovakia and Moldova. Very nice style of play, very interesting. None of both players are keeping up. They want to go forward. Both of them are attacking. After that, we have Algeria, Vietnam, we have Korea, Pakistan, we have Djibouti, UAE, we have Kuwait, Czech Republic, and we have Spain, Thailand. All of that will be coming up on this live stream from here, from Bali, from Nusa Dua Merusaka.
It's nice, isn't it? It's nice. Yeah, I know. You love to mention where we are.
Yeah, of course.
It's where everyone can find us. Yeah,
of course. I'm in Bali. I need everyone to know.
Yeah.
I will start calling my friends. I say, you know what? I'm in Bali. I say, do you need something? No, I just need you to know that I'm in Bali. That's the main point of being in Bali.
Hey, no one likes a glow. No one likes a glow.
Of course. So, tell me, where are you watching this stream from? Yes, let us know. We will be reading the social media. We will be reading the chats, of course, also in Twitch. I will be logging in just in seconds to the Twitch to see what you have to say about this game. Who are you rooting for? Who do you think may win this tournament? We have $25,000 in prizes just for this game.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money just for a game of virtual football. And again, it's as simple as that. It's master a game, and you could potentially be at a World Championships competing for a prize pool of $25,000.
And you can be
crazy.
In Bali.
And you could be in Bali. You keep dropping that. Dropping that.
Yeah, of course. You may join me by the beach. I will be the one with the beer in the hand. Well, my friends, here we are with these beautiful matches. We're waiting for the second Slovakia versus Moldova, and you will watch it with us. What would you do if you were the Slovakia player?
I think if you're Slovakia, you need the first goal. It's strange for me to say that, given that you think Moldova need the first goal. Slovakia, from a confidence perspective, need that first goal. You need to basically go, we're 4-2 up, and then shut it down. And I know, to those at home who know me from kind of gameplay styles, I'm not about shutting things down, but effectively you need to kind of game manage it, because you want those 3 points, or you want the points. So that's what I would do.
Okay, we're coming back. Game number 2, Slovakia versus Moldova.
Yeah, you can see it's a Man United affair once more. Again, we'll just double check and make sure we know who's playing in what kit before we start judging on where players are applying their trade. We don't want to make any assertions that we know what kits players are in, because Of course, the last thing we want to do is tell you
Yeah.
that either Slovakia have scored and it's Moldova, or Moldova have
They
scored and it's
surprised
Slovakia.
us.
Yeah,
They surprised us last match, changing kits
Yeah.
between matches.
yeah. But we will see from the graphics on screen again. Oh, interesting. Interesting. 5 at the back. A 5 at the back setup. We've not seen one of those today. But again, that will tell you a lot about mentally where you were at. If you were playing,
that's the bus. It's known as
it's the bus. And it's the handbrake. It's the handbrake on the bus that could potentially be here. Meanwhile, of course, and we get to see Man United's alternate kit.
Green
See there?
shirts.
It's green shirts, but you can see there as well. It's relatively the same lineup.
Yeah, that's true.
The interesting part now is, if you go to play 5 at the back, are you going to be in a worse position than when you were playing your regular tactic? More importantly, are you well versed in playing 5 at the back? Because it's a very specific and a very kind of direct formation in terms of, once you are in a 5 at the back, it's very hard to come out of one.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's see what the mentality is looking like, as we see it's Moldova from left to right, I believe, and it is Slovakia from right to left.
So it's Moldova, the one playing with 5 in the back.
Which is even more interesting.
Whoa.
As you can see, ball into the box, looking for a header. It's Martinez. It's nearly cleared away by Maguire. And it looks like it's been adjudged to have been a foul here.
So this is amazing, because when I saw 5 in the back, I assumed that this was Slovakia. That was the...
Well, mentally, that's where I would go, because you'd go, well, he's just trying to protect the lead. Instead, actually, maybe it's a case that you're looking to overload the flanks. Maybe it's a case you're looking to try and just be very direct. But we'll certainly find out here as Rashford finds it in towards Ronaldo, but it's De Gea that makes the save.
I remember an episode of a TV series called Ted Lasso, in which they need a goal and they make a 5 in the back, which everybody says, "Are you crazy?" And they get that goal. So
well, we might be able to see something here. As Bruno gets a stunning cross in. It was Ronaldo that was lurking and just didn't quite get the header on it. Instead, it's his compatriot Bruno Fernandes that will take that away. It's Malacia who wins it back, though. It's Casemiro onto Bruno Fernandes. Rashford back to Fernandes. Casemiro. Oh, that's beautiful play here. Rashford! Big hit, even better save from David De Gea. Again, you can see nice little ball movement just to try and open up some space.
I was counting the players, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's not a 5 formation, but there were 5 players on the row.
Yeah, and that's what it is. If you can overload and start to get people forward, it becomes a little bit easier to do. As ball goes into the box, it's backheeled into space. It's bouncing
crazy.
around, but
it's too dangerous to do that.
It's fallen to Bruno Fernandes. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. It's Fred. Little double touch from Fred. Dummies to turn himself around, so he's got a bit play the way he faced. It's Casemiro. Bruno Fernandes. He's got runners here. It's Fred. Fred looking to get one into the box. Brought down. He's appealing. You can see him waving his arms in frustration, but nothing is given, and Martinez will lead it away.
So here they come. It's Moldova trying to get the first goal. Slovakia, it's going easy at maintaining the goal ahead that they have. In green shirts is the Slovakia team. In red shirts is the Moldova team. The global result, it's 1 goal in advantage for Slovakia.
Yeah, you can see as well. You can see here what is looking like it's being tried to be done by Moldova here is to create a kind of almost a bubble within that defence that you can see there from Slovakia. You'll see the players are all constantly just sitting in that little area where they're just trying to create runners and space, and ball bounces through to Rashford. He's onside here. It's in through to Cristiano Ronaldo. Big save.
Yeah,
I don't think
the goalie
he was
find
clean.
it. The goalie find it.
Yeah, I don't think it was as clean a save as De Gea wanted, but it's a corner nonetheless.
He stayed there and the ball just hit him.
He was hoping that hit him, I think, in all honesty, but it's Bruno Fernandes who's on the corner here. Just See, weighing up the options. It's gone short to Fred. I've never been a fan of a short corner. I may be proved wrong, but I'm not. It's not the best type of option. Get it into the box and to try and do something with it. Here's Wan-Bissaka to Malacia. It's Wan-Bissaka. Again, you'll just see. So if you notice here, you've got Bruno, you've got Rashford and Ronaldo all just loitering in that central area. That's what is being looked for here. It's Casemiro to Fred.
Yeah, we can see the 5 defense at the midfield right now.
Well, you can see the 5. You can see the 5 at the back for Moldova, and you can see how it's trying to work out here. It's Rashford tries to get it forward.
And now it comes
Fred,
again.
Still there again, though. Because interestingly, as we said, essentially I think what Moldova have tried to do here is just kind of get rid of their midfield. It's basically an attack and a defence, and that's reality of it is that's where you need to make sure that you're absolutely pinpoint with all of your passes, especially if you're going to go with this type of tactic. But it has been so far. Fred, Ronaldo, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, onside! Big challenge in.
Yeah.
But you can see that that's where the pressure is building up. So
yes.
Moldova have essentially completely overloaded their central area just to create that little bit of chaos. Because as we said, the panic will come in and you'll start to try and just press buttons and hope for the best. And that will not get it done at this type of level.
I promise that I will never judge again anyone using 5 defenders.
It's Ronaldo with the flick on. Fred, Wan-Bissaka, back to Casemiro. Wan-Bissaka, Fred, Wan-Bissaka onto Rashford, and it's nestled away. You'll see the defensive line just trying to push forward.
Slovakia is expecting, is not proposing any game.
They're not
it's just letting the time pass.
Yeah, they're not really posing too much of a threat going forward, which is the slight worry. Because if all of the gameplay has been with Moldova and all of the pressure has been with Moldova, the issue you've got with all of those things is if you've got that pressure that's on and you're the team that's defending a lead, the problem then becomes is that you have to then break out of that shell. If you're trying to protect the lead, you've got to then break out of the shell if a goal is scored against you. So I would slightly worry if that were the case, as Malacia heads it away.
I think that the strategy didn't work out great for the Moldova player, but the Slovakia player is like also surprised.
Yeah, and I think that the way that this is kind of going at the moment, or at least if you're from a Moldova perspective, they're playing far better now that those changes have been made versus playing the way that they had played. Ball goes into the box, it's cleared away. So you can see that there's just a lot more going forward.
And now they lose the ball and comes Slovakia. Tries once again. Let's see. One goal may seal the deal. And it's a center. The ball gets outside. He couldn't complete the play. It was a good chance. It's a corner kick. He knows he's just one goal.
I think one goal for Slovakia would, I think, puts them out of sight.
Yeah, he knows that both of them, that there are just one goal ahead of their main interest, the main goal.
Certainly. As Maguire interestingly heads one out. Would have gone for a corner had it not been blown up for half-time.
Half-time here. So Slovakia keeps the goal ahead, but there is a difference, a big difference in possession, right?
Massive difference. But again, that comes with having a different shape, having 5 at the back. It comes with that desire to keep the ball. But you'll see just on the tactic alone here, if you look at the left side of your screen, and I don't want you guys at home to ignore the right-hand side, if you take a look at the left-hand side, you'll see how narrow it is in attack. But that's to put pressure on. When you look at the right-hand side, it's to put pressure on Varane, it's to put pressure on Martinez, it's to put pressure on Casemiro. It's to create movement where those players have got to go and track players that are coming from deep.
And now he's moving once again his players again a narrower team,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's causing. It's causing there to be almost a congestion of players.
Everything in the middle.
Yeah, everything in the middle. Players, as we know, you know, if you play football just generally in real life at home, you can only mark one player at a time. You can't mark everybody. So at one point, somebody is going to break through here. It's just whether a case of whether they can find the back of the net or not. As Varane tries to get it clear, it's dangerous.
Oh,
it's
dangerous defense.
very, very dangerous, but they get away with one to Moldova. You can see they're just trying to push it forward with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. There's Fred to Ronaldo. Runners are looking forward here. Rashford, Ronaldo. Rashford, Ronaldo, back onto Rashford. Rashford has a man in the middle. It's Anthony Martial. Look for the extra pass. Just didn't quite make it work here. Bruno. And there's the through ball. He's onside. He's been played on by Malacia. It's Cristiano Ronaldo.
And that's it. That was the goal that we were talking before. Slovakia had patience. Slovakia didn't run, didn't burn the bridges. They say, okay, I will let this happen. You can come as much as you want, but if I have one, I will make this goal.
Yep. And the interesting part there was, as we saw the defensive line come up, the defensive line was pushed up by Moldova to just try and congest some space. The issue with it, of course, is that when you push them forward, the players are not paying attention to the players they should be marking. So the pass that happened through to Ronaldo was actually the pass that I think that Moldova were looking at first. The problem is, if you play a sideways pass and you're trying to mark a completely different pass, again, all of a sudden you go, wait a minute, that ball's not gone where I've expected. And all of a sudden then you're left with a golden opportunity.
And when you have one attacker which is fast, which is still has stamina, you know that this is one play. This is all or nothing.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Maguire, who was the player that I would say was left lacking in the pace department there to try and catch Ronaldo, has now been taken off the field. But that will be a change in shape as well. But Ronaldo coming forward. Here's Scott McTominay. Looks to loft one over the top. Defensive header back to the goalkeeper. I would not be surprised now if we see almost a game kill from Slovakia. I think it will just be a case of potentially even look to really kill the game off, as it's Anthony looking to drive his way into the box. The Brazilian slides it across! And it is Cristiano Ronaldo. It's that man again, as you said, still got fitness, still got stamina, and still has the killer touch in front of goal.
And now things are almost going in one direction, and that direction is Slovakia. Yeah. Once again, it breaks the line. Once again, one player can go ahead, and if you can pass, you know, this line, this iron line works as good as nobody crosses. If just one man goes by, you're lost.
Yeah.
Because you have so many people in that line that you don't have nobody to chase it.
Well, if you looked at who was chasing Anthony, it was Scott McTominay. Now, no disrespect to Scott McTominay, but I would say that he's never catching Anthony 99 times out of 100. So the issue then becomes is that if you know as a player in the back of your head, you know that the player you're controlling is not going to catch the guy that you're chasing. The issue then becomes where's the next thing going to happen? Because there's almost a infinite universe of things that could have happened there. Anthony could have shot. He could have tried to dummy back inside. He could have double touched. He could have tried to play for a penalty. He could have ran to the corner. Instead, took a killer touch and got inside to Ronaldo. So you can only mark one thing at a time, and if your prediction is wrong, it's game over.
Yeah, that's true. That's the analysis of our man, Hisguesa, and you can watch us live here from Indonesia. We are at Bali at the IESF tournament. This is an incredible tournament. More than 100 countries represented, and we're watching Moldova against Slovakia.
Interestingly, though, there is still time on the clock.
Yes,
there is still enough time. I would say, from a standpoint of watching these types of games, there's enough time. But it's now going to become a case of how much of the clock does Slovakia want to kill? Or more importantly, do they want to kill the game off with a goal? As it looked like he was lining up a stunning strike there. But it's how much of the clock do you want to try and kill? And that's going to be the key thing here. Because at the moment, Moldova are just going to keep trying to play, keep trying to play, keep trying to play, which is what you should do in these types of environments. You should always look to try and keep playing your natural game. Of course, the issue is you try and play your natural game, you'll give the ball away, and then Slovakia retain it, and then Slovakia can try and kill it off. What do you do?
I don't know.
What do you do?
I don't know, but what I know is that I don't move from my chair because I'm seeing this match, which is amazing. I'm not messing with charging my phone. I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching the screen because I cannot have enough of this match, which by now it's Slovakia. And here it comes again. It's for Moldova. Palo! It's the post that says, no, this time, my friend. You have to wait. You have to try again. You have to keep your players shooting at the goal.
That was the chance. That was the chance to get back into the game. Again, there's not a lot of time left here. But again, from a Moldova perspective, you are looking to just try and keep yourself going here. Again, though, the more that clock ticks down, the less opportunity they're going to have to be able to put their stamp back on this game. As it looks to be cleared away once more, it's Marcus Rashford. You can see the switching, just slight switching defensive mentality. Again, naturally makes your players want to be a little bit more hesitant about going forward. And again, at this point of the stage of the game, if you're Slovakia, why would you want to go forward?
Yeah, I think that by now, the match is almost, I don't say easy, I don't like to say that word. It's not an easy match, but it's not a hard match for Slovakia.
It's not, and all they have to do is as we said, manage it. That's again, at high level games of eFootball, that's what a lot of players you'll see do. They will look to manage the game. They'll look to try and make sure that, you know, they are able to close a game out. You know, it's one thing taking the lead, it's certainly another thing making sure that you keep hold of it. And Slovakia, don't forget, will have it fresh in their mind. They let a very late goal go in the first game. So they will have a lot of things on their mind here going, I'll tell you what, I prefer the clean sheet today. I prefer the clean sheet for this game. That's what we need.
Well, it's 2-0 to 0
1 minute at a time
for Slovakia. The match is coming to an end, and with this we close this best of 2 matches, and this leg goes to Slovakia. The players, did they greet? I read the rules that they have to greet before each match and after each match.
No one likes a snitch.
No.
No, no. I know. I would imagine that all of the fair play rulings have all been adhered to here. And again, it's frustrating if you're a player because, again, formerly being in that spot, it's frustrating when things don't go your way or you aren't able to get your play style going, you aren't able to get your gameplay. And then, as we saw, was almost a sucker punch from Slovakia. You just go, I'll try again another day. You just go, I'll try again another day. But you can always feel that frustration out of players if it doesn't go exactly the way that they want it to go. Of course, they're going to be disappointed, and especially if they're representing the nations at the World Esports Championships.
Of course.
It's going to be something of honour to these guys. But
so
again,
let's see the highlights.
This came from, again, a great read of play. It was a brilliant control finish into the corner. Whereas this, again, was a controlled cross, a stunning cross. And you can see there some of the chances that went by the wayside, which is what you'll see during these highlights. You'll see chances, you'll see strikes that didn't quite happen. You can see there that strike that just went by the wayside. Again, we saw some very, I can only say, as erratic goalkeeping from the David De Gea from both sides. But this here, again, you were trying to just find out the goalkeeper, and that was where that little bit of gamesmanship came in. Because the first goalkeeper, you've made a save by making a manual goalkeeper. This here, on the other hand,
this was amazing.
Fantastic hit.
This was amazing. bad placement of the goalie, can I say?
Well, the player didn't choose to go with a manual goalkeeper that time, because I think in your head, if you saw somebody control the goalkeeper the first time, the second time you're going to go, I'll shoot in that corner because I know he's going to move. Whereas actually, he's left him there thinking, oh well, I leave him there and he'll make the save. And instead, it did not pan out in that fashion.
So the first match ended 3-2 for Slovakia, and the second match started with Moldova making the calls, trying to strike, but with no luck.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the five at the back was actually quite well worked in that first half.
Until that goal.
Until this. And it was this little break here. And you'll see here, you've got Malasia who, again, you